Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing some wood dyeing with kind of an easy to find DIY product, and that is the RIT fabric dyes. Let's see if these things are any good. So let me start with, I guess, a little bit of disclosure here. These are, like I said, fabric dyes. They're probably not going to be as light fast, as UV resistant as some of the more expensive, fancier stuff that you find specifically for wood dyeing, some of the guitar products, that kind of thing. But they are cheap and they're easy to find. And if there's anything that I've learned over my years of doing DIY videos, it's that counts for something. It's also helpful that they are water soluble. So that means no real harmful chemicals, not a lot that you need to worry about. You don't need to go pick up paint thinner or lacquer thinner or acetone or something like that to be able to dilute these, and you don't need that stuff to be able to clean it up either. So that's helpful. What you will probably want is gloves, because it is dye, and if you don't use gloves, you'll get it all over your hands and you will look ridiculous. So let's see how this stuff works, shall we? First of all, we've got some panels of just Baltic birch. This is very easy wood to dye. It's nice and light. And we're gonna get those sanded up real quick to 240 grit, because that is a good grit to dye with. Also a good grit to seal over and stuff like that, although I sometimes like to go higher. But if you're doing a wipe-on finish, 240, 220, something like that, often a very good choice. So keep that in mind. Let's quickly get these sanded up. And then we're actually gonna dilute them in a little bit of water in these little containers. I got all this stuff from Michael's. Not the wood, because they overcharge for little chunks of wood, but if you've got a saw, don't be ridiculous, don't buy it from there. But this stuff is all from Michael's, and which is just a hobby store in Canada. I think that it's in the States as well. Let's get this stuff tested out, shall we? So for starters, what colors do we have here? Well, we're gonna try all of them. We've got graphite, so kind of a gray color. They have black as well, but graphite seemed like an interesting choice. I have black dye already. Denim blue, like blue jean blue. These are for tie-dyeing clothes. So I've seen a couple denim blue guitar dye jobs and I found them really cool. So we're gonna give that a shot. And then a couple of bolder colors, the royal blue, let's see what kind of depth we can get out of that, and royal purple, because purple dye is usually awesome. These should be interesting to work with. I know that they're gonna work just fine. I've tried them before, but what you need to understand, like I said, is these aren't really high quality, wood dyes, so they might not last as long in the light. They could, I'm not really sure, but that's one thing to watch out for. And so using a UV resistant clear coat over them might help that, or hey, they might just fade a little over time. Maybe that's not the end of the world. Yay, sanding, everybody's favorite part. If you don't like sanding, woodworking is a tough hobby. And especially making guitars and stuff like that, very tough thing to get into if you don't like sanding. So hopefully you don't mind it. I'm gonna use some 120 real quick and then some 240 here. We're not gonna do anything fancy. We're probably not gonna do a great job of this because I'm just testing something, but let's get these smoothed out. There's probably a much better way to do this, but whatever. This one appears to have a little gunk on it, so we'll see. I don't think the dye will make it through that, but we will find out, because why not? Maybe I should take a quick second here to thank my wife, because she's probably the one who's going to end up cleaning these jeans off. Thanks, babe. All right, next up, these are sanded both sides, 120 and 240. We'll do the others if we need them. And let's go ahead and get these diluted now. Again, recommending you wear gloves, but you don't have to. While I'm doing thank yous, let me also thank my Patreon supporters, to the few of you that have been contributing there. Much appreciated. Helps me get stuff like this to be able to do these tutorials. So thank you. And the this one goes out to you guys. Am I out of breath from a little sanding? Maybe. I'd rather not say. You know, I'm not sure how much of this I'm actually going to need. Let me start this way. So you can dilute this in water, right? You can get a fairly weak solution. You could also just use this stuff straight, but it would be quite strong. I'm going to dilute it a little less. So that's probably diluted about 60% water, maybe 70% water. Don't think there's a whole lot of stirring required. You can see that just becomes one with the water right away, which is nice. And it's dyeing the popsicle stick just fine. So this is our graphite. I'm going to try this mix before I move on to mixing the other colors, because I want to know how this solution of 70-30-ish looks with the graphite, and then we'll move on and try the others. Let's bring you in closer so you can see this a little better. Since this is, of course, just a little test piece, I'm just going to use a chunk of shop towel here. We'll see if this works at all. Oh yeah, so there's your graphite. This Baltic birch, kind of notorious for not dyeing all that evenly. You can kind of sort of seal it with whatever you want, shellac usually, beforehand if you want. But that's kind of cool. Nice little graphite-y look. That's the diluted version. Let's quickly try this undiluted. I think maybe we will need these other pieces because I'm going to try it undiluted on the other side. We'll see how that does as it dries, but let's try it full strength here. So the dye itself seems to be working just fine. Unfortunately, again, there's the wood's not in great condition, so that's no real surprise. But you can get, yeah, a little bit of a stronger look using it undiluted, of course, no surprise there. And then that lighter look with the diluted version. That's graphite, so that's not quite black. But hey, that would actually make a pretty good black dye. And like I said, cheap and easy to come by. So there's our black. Let's try out our other colors. Let's see here what the royal purple looks like at full strength. I'm going to try it full strength. And of course I can dilute it if I feel the need to dial it back a little, so to speak. Let's see here. Okay. I'll do one more with this piece of shop towel and then I'll have to change. Oh, just put it everywhere. That's smart. Good work, Brad. Okay, so there's the purple. Nothing too crazy here. Let's try a little bit more from another clean section of towel. I think if you layer this up, you can get a kind of deeper look. But that's definitely purple. I'd be interested to see how this looks on a better piece of wood, on like a flame maple or something like that, but I don't have extra flame maple kicking around, so let's try it on a nicer section of the birch. That's passable at full strength. Put a clear coat over that, seal it up. Could probably end up with a pretty good finish. What do we have left here? We got two blues left. We've got royal blue and denim blue. I think at this point we all realize that, hey, you can dilute it and end up with a more gentle version of the color. You can almost certainly layer it up. In fact, let's confirm that theory with a little bit of graphite on top of graphite here. So I think what I'll do after this is I'll just test out the other two colors at full strength and see how they perform, see what they look like, and we can make some decisions based on that. So yeah, you can definitely layer this up to darken it. And I bet you could blend it a little bit too, but you don't usually blend black into stuff, but let's see here. Just a gentle layer of black over the purple kind of gives an interesting effect as well. Huh. Pretty versatile stuff for the price. easy to clean up too. It's not staining my hands nearly as much as I thought it might. Okay, let's try our other two. Royal blue and denim blue. We've got like a white color, blue color thing going on here. That royal blue looks pretty dark. Let's do the smart thing for a change and maybe shake them up a little bit. No tabs. No tabs on the denim blue. Weird. And annoying. Okay. Do things the hard way. I'm so glad now that I went and filled all of these with some water to mix all of this dye up. That was a worthwhile use of my time. All right, royal blue first. Oh yeah, now that is a color. All right, you can see some of the glue marks from this cheap wood here, but that's looking awesome. I'm gonna do a little bit of that over the purple too. So that's a color that you could get away with diluting and probably end up with something cool. Let's see if we can do a little fade here. Yeah, the darker, more purpley blue kind of gently fading into the still dark royal blue. I might have to use that on a guitar and just make sure I'm using a good quality clear coat over it. Okay, now on the other side of our paper towel here, our shop towel, let's give the denim a try. Let's see what we're dealing with. Whoa. That's denim blue, is it? Okay, well, denim blue looks pretty purple to me. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting take on denim. I think that is a little more purple than I would have anticipated, but let's give it a try over the blue, see how they mix up. If you had to pick, would you wear a pair of jeans this color or this color? Let me know. Don't be fooled, folks. The royal blue is the one you're looking for. Last thing here, I've got the other side of this still available, and I don't want all of these water-filled things to go to waste, so I'm going to actually dilute some of the royal blue and see if we can get a nice light denim-looking blue. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this water by pouring it onto the floor like a savage, and then probably do something like a 50-50 here. Yeah, let's give that a try. Okay, so that's our royal blue. I'm going to do it 50% diluted here. Looks very dark. Use a relatively clean section of cloth. Yeah, that looks good. And these are dark jeans, but that looks pretty denim blue to me. Again, that's not the denim blue, that's the royal blue. So that contrasted with that. It's nice having the ability to just dilute these a little bit and get a lighter color. Pretty happy with that. All right, guys, well, I guess if the question of the day was, are RIT dyes any good? Can you use them? The answer is yeah. They're pretty passable. You can do a decent job with these. I don't see why not. You need to be a little bit careful, of course, and ideally you use a type of wood that isn't this. But yeah, there's really nothing wrong with them. So feel free to give that a try. If you're looking for something like this, you can get them at Michael's. I may also be able to find a link to them and put them in the Amazon link in the description. If you're looking for something similar, Angelus leather dyes are very popular, particularly in the guitar dyeing world. They've got some really good colors, and Big D Guitars does a ton of really good tutorials with them. I think he's also got an affiliate program going with them. So if you want to check his channel out and check them out through him, also a great idea. Particularly, like I said, they've been tested a lot on wood. I haven't used them, but I know they're really good because I've watched his stuff and he does incredible work. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please ever so tenderly touch that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps me out. And remember to subscribe so you can see, well, one, what I may or may not do with these, and also, as usual, all the cool projects I have coming out. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.